Welcome to the premiere edition of Night Talk Weekly, a weekly webisode brought to you by the St. Norbert Times. I'm your host, Connor DuBois, and this week I come to you from the St. Norbert College Campus Center Gymnasium. I am honored to be joined this week by two catalysts on this year's Green Knight women's basketball team. Our first guest is the 2007 graduate from Green Bay East High School. She is a senior and will be graduating this May with a degree in communications and an emphasis in media studies. Currently, she leads the team with 21 assists. Point guard number 13 is Stephanie Bunday. In addition, we're joined by a 2008 graduate from Oshkosh West. She is currently leading the Green Knights this year in points per game, averaging 11.4 per outing. She's a junior, a guard number 14, Krista Pelke. And now, Stephanie, obviously growing up just a few miles away at Green Bay East High School, was St. Norbert College a school that was always on your radar as a place to continue your basketball career? And what possibly were some other places that you were looking at or were looking at you to continue your basketball career?
St. Norbert was never on my basketball radar, actually. My mom forced me to come take a tour of the campus. She goes, oh, just try it, just try it. And I was not interested. I was like, I'm not going to that school, it's way too close. And she made me come and check it out. And I ended up loving it. I loved the campus. I got to talk to Coach. She had a lot of good things to say, wanting to be part of the program, and that's the whole reason why I came here, being able to be a part of the program such early in my career. Being able to start freshman year, that was blown away a little bit by that, but it was something that I definitely wanted to do. I had some other schools looking at me. Penn University was a big one that I looked at, and Hamline University were in my top list.
And obviously things have worked out well for you since.
Absolutely, it was a good choice.
And Krista, obviously a little bit more drive up from Oshkosh. Was St. Norbert always a possibility of continuing your career at the D3 basketball level?
It actually always was, but originally I did sign with Michigan Tech to go play basketball up there. But halfway through the summer I realized that it was a little far and there was really nothing up there. So I decided to come to St. Norbert probably, I think, midway through the summer before freshman week.
And probably this time of year, obviously, we just got 16 inches of snow, and you guys would be up there and have probably about twice as much. Perfect. So, Stephanie, you mentioned a little bit about meeting Coach Tilley and really liking her. What's it like playing for a coach who has over 500 wins in this her 34th year at St. Norbert College, and currently she's the all-time winningest coach at NCAA in the state of Wisconsin?
You can't really argue with her that she doesn't know what she's talking about. Pretty much the record says it all. She pushes us really hard in practice, which is something that she always stresses. You might as well practice harder so that when you get into a game time situation, it's not nearly as stressful and you're prepared. So she's really good at that. I enjoy playing with her, or for her, and I think she does a good thing with our team.
Very nice. This year, as with years past, typical Connie Tilley team, you guys are hanging your hats on stellar defense and holding your opponents to just 48.1 points per game through 7 games this year. You guys forced them to 23 turnovers per game. What kind of hard work and dedication goes into the offseason and practice to start the season off like that?
A lot of it that they push through is when we play in the summer. They say, you don't want to play your typical summer ball. So they stress us working defense big time instead of kind of cherry picking or hanging out at half court. It's have to push to get done.
Right. And I think defense is like one of the main keys for us to be successful because we've always hanged our hats on that. I think most of the time that gets our offense going.
Now, Chris, you guys are off to a 6-1 overall start and 3-0 in the conference. Recently beating Knox this past weekend. To start the season off, you guys took home the Bay Lake Tip-Off Championship for the 4th consecutive year. You guys remained undefeated in that tournament. How important is that tournament to you guys and starting the season off on the right track?
I think it was really important. It got us going. It got us to see things we need to work on, things we're doing really well at, and I think it gave us a lot of confidence to build up the season.
Stephanie, last year you guys only had 2 seniors on your team. This year you guys have 5. And I think one's studying abroad will be joining you after the break, which will be nice. How valuable is that to have all that experience coming back this year, also coupled with the 5 freshmen that are having some significant impact this year along with the 1 sophomore?
It's really nice having such a big senior class. At first, we were a little worried that we were going to have too many Indians and not enough Chiefs kind of situation, but it's actually worked out really well. We're kind of like our own little posse at first, it's like we keep everybody kind of like in a captain atmosphere, so everybody's a part of what our decisions are. So that's really nice. And also with the big group of freshmen coming in, they were their own posse definitely when they first started, and we had to kind of break them up a little bit. And so it was nice that it worked out where we had a senior and freshman that could kind of buddy up and we could teach them things. It's fun because we get to be the teachers. We're like coaching those freshmen because we were once there. And it's nice having a friend to rely on in that class and being able to take the younger ones up to that level.
So then obviously you were there your freshman year being able to start, and, so you can kind of see where you know where they're at and where they can get to.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
I had Lindsay Propson, who was my senior when I was a freshman, and she taught me a lot of cool things along the way.
Very nice. This year you guys started the season ranked in the top 25. You guys peaked at number 21 before falling out of the rankings, following your only setback the year on the road at UW Eau Claire. How's the season going so far for you? And you know, at the beginning of the season, when you look at your schedule, is this kind of where you guys expected to be at? 6-1 overall and 3-0 in the conference.
I would say yes. I mean, we obviously want to be undefeated, but I think Eau Claire was a building block or a learning tool for us for the rest of the season. I mean, we started the first half, and I don't even know if any of us were even in the game.
Yeah.
You know? But I mean, I think we can now learn, like especially when we play the teams in Vegas, that we can't start out that way.
Well, with the recent success of both the men's and women's basketball team, with the men ranked nationally this year at the top 10, do you guys place any additional pressure to be ranked as well, or do you guys not pay much attention to that? And kind of what's the atmosphere like on game day with you guys playing before the men and then playing after you? I imagine that's going to be a pretty fun atmosphere for both of you.
Yeah, it definitely is. Especially when we come off a big win and stuff, the guys always meet us in the tunnel, exiting the game and give us high fives where they say good game and we say good luck. So that's really fun. We do all the bus trips together. We get along really well with the men's team. Both of us having big teams this year as well. But as far as ranking, I don't think that really plays a factor into us because the men's game and the women's game they're so different and opponents are so different. You look at some of our weaker teams in our conference and they can be some of the best teams in the men's conference. So I don't think that we can really judge our standings off of each other just because things are so different in the leagues.
Now, of course, you guys have a big road trip coming up here over the winter break. You guys are heading out to Las Vegas to take part in the D3Hoops.com Classic, December 28th and 29th. That's got to be pretty exciting. Stephanie, as a senior and one of the captains on this year's team, what does it mean to be invited out there and have the opportunity to take on the #1 team in the nation in Amherst? How does that speak to your previous successes in the past 4 years here at St. Louis College?
Well, at first I was just like excited that we were going to Vegas. I didn't even really know who invited us, what we were playing, what we were doing. We were just going to Vegas. And then when Coach told us we were playing and that we got invited out there, and I was like, oh, okay, like that's cool. I never really thought about it. And then she told us what kind of success Amherst and the other teams that were out there that were going to be playing. And I definitely think that gives a hats off to our coaching staff, to the program, to the school, saying that we deserve to be out there and see if we can give these teams a run for our money.
I know a few years ago, it was over the holiday break when the men took on then #1 ranked Stevens Point right here in their own holiday tournament, and they actually knocked them off, and it kind of seemed to catapult the men the rest of the season, catapult them to win the conference and to get into that NCAA tournament at the end of the season. Is that something, regardless of the result, win or lose, is that something you guys are hoping can also catapult you guys moving on and give you that experience possibly for the NCAAs at the end of the year?
Yeah, definitely. We want to come in, win, lose, or draw. It's something that we can put under our belts and say, we step into the big court for the big dance here coming in March Madness, and we can say, we've played teams like this before, and we know that we're capable of running with them.
It'll give us confidence to improve different with them.
Nice. In addition, Chris, how much are you and the rest of the team kind of looking forward to this? Obviously, Stephanie's looking forward to it. She just happened to be out in Vegas, but how about the rest of the team?
I think it's the same as staff. We're just excited to go. Like, we didn't know who was going to be there. It's just going to be nice to get away. It's going to be in a warmer place, so that'll be good. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Very nice. You guys have 17 days in between games, so we're in the middle of finals week this week. Christmas is next week, so practice time is a little sparse here and there. What are you guys doing to keep in game shape over those 17 days and prepare for possibly two of the biggest games so far in the young season?
Well, this week we were practicing for an hour and a half.
Yep, we are an hour and a half, 2 hours, real hard.
And then watch film.
Mm-hmm.
so we can learn some stuff that we need to work on.
Yep. We'll be doing Chase as our strength and conditioning coach. So we'll be doing him an hour every morning over break, and then on top of practice, just because you're not in a class, you have the time. Coach said she really wants to work with us individually on a few of the things, getting more shots up, more reps, that kind of stuff, post more touches, things like that to make us a better, well-rounded player before we start getting into heavy games. Because when school comes back, you got a game, practice, practice, game, practice, practice, game. So you're not learning a lot of things as far as fundamentally in between. You're trying to learn personnel for the team you're playing. So now's the time to work on your own game.
So you guys are kind of using these 17 days here to prepare for the rest of your season in conference play, coming up once we return from break and get back into the academic season as well.
Yeah.
All right, and finally, I know you guys have mentioned before we were talking, you're not quite sure what your travel plans are, but what are some of the things you guys are, we know you're flying out of Green Bay and heading out to Las Vegas, so that'll be nice, a little team bonding trip on the airplane, lots of cards game in the airport or what have you.
Yep.
Hopefully no delays.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully you get out of here on time, we don't have a big snowstorm. But you guys know how long you're going to be out there for, or have anything, ideas what you guys might want to do while you're out there?
I think about there's 3 days total, I believe we found. Yeah,
Yep.
27th.
Maybe, yeah,
Then we come back the 31st that afternoon. I know a lot of families coming down for all the players. They're using it as their little vacation, and they want to go to the canyon, check all that out. Of course, we're gonna hit up the Strip. We have the night right before we leave off, so we're gonna go hit that up. Just
Gamble.
do a little bit and see what happens. And I think we're gonna we'll do like a big dinner type thing as well with all the coaches and some family. Yep.
Very nice. So you mentioned a lot of family heading down there, so hopefully garnish a little home court atmosphere
Yes.
down there when you guys take on Amherst and Bates, both teams ranked nationally in the top 10. You guys also mentioned heading out to the Strip. If I give you guys $10, would you mind putting it down on Black 21 for me?
Absolutely.
Of course.
You know, I need to make some money to pay for the tuition here for the second half of the semester. Well, there you have it, folks. Stephanie Bunday and Krista Pelkey from the St. Norbert College women's basketball team. Very special thanks to them for joining me on the premiere edition of Night Talk Weekly. Best of luck to both of you guys, and safe travels there and back over the break. And hopefully we'll be able to catch up after the break, maybe do a follow-up interview, and also I can collect my winnings from my $10 wager there. Thanks for tuning in to the premiere edition of Night Talk Weekly, a weekly webisode brought to you on behalf of the St. Norbert Times. I'm your host, Connor Du Bois, and a very special thanks once again to our two guests this week, Stephanie Bunday and Krista Pelkey. Tune in next week for another episode of Night Talk Weekly.